as the roar of the crowd died to a silence. Two voices emerged. SquareOne from the city of Wind.
Chicago.
And Odeisel from the city with 8 million stars.
From the York Street Talk, America's best. From the York Street Talk, America's best.
Join for the cause of presenting and discussing the world of hip-hop without any filter.
Let me talk, Carol.
Translate that for us.
Yeah, that's the answer. We go to Chicago. Tell them we're not for sale.
The creation of enormous magnitude was formed.
Hip-hop is writing and rhyming. To hold the mic in your hand and crush whoever's in front of you. That's hip-hop.
I am here to present
IllSide Radio.
All right, welcome back to IllSide Radio. I'm your host, SquareOne, and my co-host is...
Dr. Diesel DiBiase. What up? Let's get to it.
Back at it, man. I'm glad you mentioned a little bit of wrestling. Gonna go check out some mini wrestling tomorrow. Like, I guess it's... what's
midgets?
Yeah, but they don't like being called midgets. Like,
dude, they're fucking midgets. Do they have big butts? You can't be a midget without a fatty.
That's messed up.
You ever seen a midget without a fatty? I did.
I feel bad taking pictures of it. No, I'm not gonna get to it. Yeah, I think they like being called dwarves. Is that like the?
They're not dwarves. Dwarves don't have big butts and short arms. Dwarves are proportional.
But is midget
because you have a human head, a human ass, and a little body.
But is midget like the appropriate like name for like?
Yeah, man.
Like, you know how like they don't say like for people who are like, you know, mentally disabled, like retard is not the appropriate word. Retardation, you know.
Yeah.
But they don't like me saying retard. So I just want to make sure that I'm, you know, not disrespecting our midget community.
All right. There weren't no dwarves in the Wizard of Oz. It's fucking midgets, man.
All right, man. Just, you know, like I said, I'm just want to be respectful. That's all.
They got
the new Oz movie coming out. I'm gonna go check it
out. I don't know if I'm feeling that, man.
It looks good, man.
Really?
Yeah, it looks really
good. Bad
good.
Enough they made Hansel and Gretel and the fucking vampire hunters and shit.
Oh, man.
Witch hunters with machine guns. And shit. Like, who wants to see that shit? Who signed off on that? When Puerto Ricans can't get a fucking movie made, fucking Hansel and Gretel could be fucking laser-guided rockets and witches and shit. Who signed off for that shit?
Man, there's somebody out there okaying these movies, man. I mean, Lincoln Vampire Hunter. The book was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, the book was pretty good, but I still haven't seen the movie. But everybody says it's terrible. But yeah. And even the new Die Hard, I don't even want to see that. Like, it doesn't even look like it's part of the, you know, the sequence of movies. It's just like it's just an action movie with John McClane.
Yeah.
And like,
kids, man, I'm down with it. And Bruce Willis can do no wrong, babe. Just give him a machine gun and let's go.
Schwarzenegger has his movie coming out this
yeah,
weekend.
But yo, man, Johnny, what's that guy's name again from Jackass?
Oh, Johnny Knoxville.
He hasn't aged well, man.
How does he land in a movie? I mean, it's like that's how I know the movie's not going to be good. It's like you went and got Johnny Knoxville as your sidekick, a guy who hasn't been in a movie since like Men in Black 2, which is like 10 years ago.
Johnny Knoxville, man.
Yeah, he
Jackass. Up 2 shot dead at community college. Oh boy.
The president was talking about that today too. Signing that executive order. Caught a little bit of it.
You know what though? That shit is wrong, and he's gonna pick a fight that he can't win. This is America, man, and like it or not, America is about the gun. You can't just take away people's rights because shit. All them fucking babies getting slaughtered in Chicago. He didn't have shit to say then. So. That shit is not right, you know. Listen, all gun laws do is make regular people not buy guns, regular people not shooting the place up. So all these crazy people. First of all, most of the people got guns already. That's going to get busy, and if they don't, they can get them on the street. So only criminals got guns. I'm not a gun advocate, man. I live in the South. I can have one. You know. Not only would my wife not put up with that shit, but it really, I mean, if I'm into something where I need a gun, I'm probably done already, you know? What did Biggie say? Well, your gun's raising, mine is blazing. Somebody's up in your house, man. What you gonna do, go to your lockbox and get a gun? I mean, some of the shit that they talk about with gun control is fucking stupid. You can keep a gun in a lockbox. Oh, I know you are, baby. I know this. But hold on, son. My key downstairs. Get the fuck out of here. You got a gun. Bust your gun, man. It's locked and loaded. But you can't just. First of all, a president is only supposed to sign laws that Congress makes, man. You cannot abuse the power of executive privilege to keep making up shit in executive orders. You know what I'm saying? It has to come through the natural process. Even if Congress is being obstructionist or whatever, there's people who wear life as guns, people who hunt on farms and shit like that. You know, you can't just do that, man.
Well, I mean, but what he did was what he strengthened background checks for gun sales, right?
But that stuff is already here. Like I don't get. Like take New York for instance. They just passed another law. New York already don't issue carry permits. So I mean, New York City is such a draconian place when it and you know, truth to tell, you can't have 8 million people sitting on top of each other with guns. I get that, but it's already laws there. You know, what are you going to do? Well, instead of 5 years, now you get 20 years. So really, all you're doing is creating free slavery. You're bolstering the prison populations with people who are just walking around with guns. Because it's not even about keeping people safe at that point. Now you're just trying to look for people to populate these prisons.
Yeah.
Half the people that go to jail for guns don't go to jail for shooting them. They get stopped on a stop and frisk, and they got a gun on them. So it's not like you keeping the city safe with that shit. You just harassing people and getting free slave labor from jail. So, you know, and you see fucking Mayor Mike's behind that shit. So, you know, I don't agree with it. Because the military is selling these people guns anyway. Like, where the hell else is somebody going to get military ordnance? People in Chicago is running the streets with machine guns. Where are they getting that shit from? If it's a military gun, what are they doing on the streets with military stuff?
Yeah. Isn't that what one of these executive orders was, to look into the transportation or the importation of machine guns or different types of heavy artillery weapons or military weapons? I thought that was one of the executive orders to look into that.
The war on guns is going to be just as dumb as the war on drugs.
Here's my thing, and I never understood this, right? Why, like with each weapon that's being sold, why can't that weapon be treated like the same way you purchase a car, where there's a license, and if you sell it, that license is, the state can follow it. You know, it just seems like that would make a lot more sense if you treated the weapon like a vehicle or, you know, some piece of property that it could be easily identified from the moment that it's left the manufacturing department to, you know, to the actual store, to being purchased, to being sold over and over again. Or, you know, it just seems like that would be a better idea or better use of money, in my opinion. But I'm not upset that.
But guns are already traceable. They got their firing signatures on file. When you buy you have to register it. So, I mean, how deep are you going to go? Are you going to tell me I can't sell my gun to somebody else? How much do you want to do? But when you realize that the gun is not the problem, man. The problem is that people thinking that it's okay to kill people. It's not, and that mentality and the disposability of human life. That's what you need to get at.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm for the gun assault ban that wasn't renewed back in 2004 under the Bush administration. I thought that the Sandy Hook incident, and I didn't mean for the president to publicize that incident for him to go and make new laws, but I thought it would have been a good moment for him to bring that discussion back up to ban those assault weapons so that are used for military purposes and not for hunting. But this is, you know, he had the Vice President Biden went and did his research and concluded that some of these actions had to be taking place. But still, he still needs the Congress to help him out with a lot of these issues. He's asking for the Congress to give them money to do more research, and the Congress already is crying broken that they don't even want to give money to the people who got hit by Hurricane Sandy, right? In New Jersey. So it's like they don't want to ante up the money for that. What makes you think that they want to give money for something that they're in support of?
Why? Because this is fucking bullshit. I don't know about you, but there's a whole lot of people who got hit with that extra tax this week on that first check of $2,099. Okay, you got away with the healthcare shit. We understand that it's a worthy cause, even if nobody likes it. And okay. All right, you're trying to keep Social Security alive. Okay, I get it. But, what the fuck is the point of cutting all this shit, of raising taxes if you're going to keep spending that money, man? That's bogus. And as far as Hurricane Sandy, what's so funny about these disaster relief efforts is that these are the same fucking people crying about socialism, calling Obama a socialist, but they the ones benefiting from that shit. Yo, you got an insurance company, Holmes. Why the fuck do you need government money? If you own a house, you got to have housing insurance, right?
Right.
So why is it? And these ain't poor neighborhoods that got wiped out. These are people with money who now have to live like regular people at the whims of somebody else, and they don't like it. So why is it okay for these people to get help, but poor people can't get help without somebody raising a stink over that shit? So I really not that hyped over Hurricane Sandy,
Yeah, but I mean, but it's been pretty procedural that any area that got hit by a hurricane, the government comes to the aid of them. It used to be like a really no big deal, but now.
Yeah, but now this shit is like $60 billion a pop.
I mean, but what are you gonna do?
Are you gonna come in every time? See, you can't say that you don't want big government if you're always asking for the government to step in for you.
I agree.
It's either or. You can't say, "Oh, Obama's raising taxes, Obama's doing this, Obama's doing that," but every time something happens, you want the president to step in.
Yeah. I just don't want to see people, who, no fault of their own, not get any assistance, and it just seems like it's the right thing to do, even though technically we can't really afford it, but just, I don't know, you just can't leave people out there like that. That's the way I feel about it.
I hear you, but my issue was with the people complaining about this shit and demonizing poor people.
Right.
But again, I think I might have got off track with this. The president's job is to sign laws, man, not make them. Right. That's why it's 3 branches of government, and that's why there are checks and balances. And Obama is wrong for executive ordering this stuff, because this ain't the first time that a school got shot up. It ain't even the first time this year that a school got shot up, and it ain't even the first time that a preschool like that got shot up. So, why now? What do you? I know you're trying to create a legacy and all that, but America got some problems that you need to look at, and gun control is not really one of them. All around this country, we're in a period of low crime. A 70-year low in crime, right? So guns is not really the problem that people try to make it. It just so happens that media is so strong and everybody got camera phones and everything is instant. So these things blow up way farther, than they ought to. But it's not his job to do that. People think it is. It's not what the Constitution says, man. It's not what it says.
Yeah, man. All right, well, we'll leave that there. Tomorrow night, so we're recording this on Wednesday. Tomorrow night, Lance Armstrong makes his admission to Oprah Winfrey on her own network that he did use performing-enhancing drugs for his Tour de France of victories. I think it was 7 in a row that he won during the late and early part of the 2000s. It's not that I didn't or did believe him, but there's always that suspicion, and unfortunately, because of the era and the time that we live in, you kind of always have to assume that if an athlete is doing something great or greater than that has ever been done, you just immediately suspicion seeps in where, yeah, they're using drugs. And that was always the case with Lance Armstrong. Even though I can give a damn about cycling, that's not really a real. It's like it's an athletic sport, but it's not really a sport that Americans followed until Lance Armstrong started winning them, and no one ever gave a damn. But unfortunately for him, though, he started his foundation, Livestrong Foundation, had the whole world wearing yellow bracelets and buying into, his story where he has testicular cancer and he bounced back and he won these awards. It's a really cool story, and everybody wanted to believe in it and give hope to those who were battling their own form of cancer. But it's like, you kind of had to expect sometime during the mid-2000s that there was something not right about his story.
Yeah. But you know what? Fuck Lance Armstrong. When they thought that Barry Bonds was on steroids, everybody had a field day. They was coming. You don't think Barry Bonds got his own charities? You don't think he gives the poor people? You don't think he's in the community? But they didn't give a fuck about that. Even a lot of these athletes, fuck Lance Armstrong, because when people came after him, he was so mean that people accused him. And, death threats and all kinds of crazy shit, strong-arming old teammates. And for what? So you mean to tell me that everybody in the fucking sport is doping, but a 7-time champion is not? Get the fuck out of here. I never believed that shit. That drugs probably would give him fucking ball cancer in the first place.
The sports superhero, that's gone. It's been
no,
diluted. I don't believe in sports heroes anymore.
My main man, Tim Tebow, baby. A genuine article, B.
Yeah.
And see that? Look what you just did. All right? Can't say sports heroes are dead, and then when a genuinely good guy comes to everybody,
he's a good guy. There's a lot of good.
Ask the fucking Broncos how it feels. How about that?
There's a lot of good guys who play professional sports that aren't very good. I'm talking about the sports hero, like the guy who hits 50 home runs and goes saves children on the weekend. I'm talking about that guy.
Cory Booker, Mayor Cory Booker. Little babies from fires and shit.
I love Cory Booker, man. That guy's awesome. But yeah, it's just like, like everybody talks about the athletes being on performance-enhancing drugs. And this past couple weeks ago, MLB did not vote a single person into their Baseball Hall of Fame, which I believe is a travesty.
I thought that was bullshit. Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer with or without drugs.
You have to include those players because they played a huge
part.
If
everybody's on drugs, then nobody's cheating. Yeah?
Yeah.
If everybody's on the same, if the pitchers are throwing balls juiced and hitters are hitting the balls juiced, that means it is fair.
Oh, yeah.
So, baseball is a sport that wraps itself up in numbers anyway, man.
It's a complete bullshit. But looking forward to next year when my guy, Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt, goes on the ballot. No one's ever suspected that he was on any sort of PEDs, but there's still going to be that, that great cloud of what if, and I don't think he deserves that. And there's a lot of players that don't deserve that. But to put all that aside and, stop creating this moral compass, just include those who did great things. If you want to put an asterisk next to them, go ahead and do that as well. But you can't just ignore it. It's like all those NCAA banners that they took down for violations.
You don't think we remember the Fab Five? You can't just say that shit never happened.
Right. Even Derrick Rose's Memphis team, they had their banner removed. It's just like you can't do that. It's like, sure, like if you want to punish them, like Pete Rose, and take him out of the baseball, you can't do anything because you ruined the game or you.
Rose belongs in the Hall of Fame, and that's how you know their writers are full of shit. It's one thing if Pete Rose was betting against himself and tanking games, then I understand that he's betting on the game. So fucking what? He ain't betting on games he playing.
Right.
He never threw a game. You talking about somebody who fucking dove into home spikes first in a fucking all-star game, man. That's how bad he wanted to win. You can't tell me that Pete Rose ever threw a game over gambling. And that's the only thing that should matter when it comes to gambling.
Right. Yeah. Did you see Pete Rose has a reality show out?
No, but I don't care about Pete Rose now. If he's not hitting balls, I don't care.
Oh, man, it's terrible. I caught like a little bit of it. His girlfriend's like early 40s, Asian, implant heavy, but kind of hot looking. And then it's Pete Rose. It just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
But it's comical nonetheless to see Pete Rose in a reality show. Good for him, though. But yeah, like I'm gonna go check it out anyways. The Lance Armstrong thing tomorrow. I got it recorded, so I'll probably sift through it a little bit. But yeah, it just sucks, man. You know, I feel bad for all the people who believed in him and really bought stock into the Lance Armstrong story and all his beliefs, and then to find out that dude's sort of a fraud.
Sort of a fraud?
Well,
he's the worst kind of fraud because he got people to go along with it. He terrorized people who fucking tried to tell the truth, and yeah, he was a menace. He was a menace.
But can't you say though that even with that, if you want to use the word evil, but some good came out of it with the Live Strong?
No, because you lied.
Yeah.
And you lied to everybody. And instead of just coming out and saying, no, you know what I did, you sat there and you terrorized your former teammates and the governing bodies of your sport. You diminished your entire sport. It's bad enough nobody gives a shit about that shit anyway, but you diminished your entire sport when you were the only one elevating the shit. It's not right. Or like people always gonna give the cancer research, so I don't give a shit about Lance Armstrong, his yellow bracelets, or his little jerseys. You think without him people don't give the cancer research? Everybody got somebody that died of cancer. That's not something that's going to stop people from ever giving money, to that cause. So he's not responsible for all that money. It would have went to somewhere else instead of just Live Strong.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna check it out. Are you gonna check it out or no?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll talk about next week then. Chief Keef, Chicago Zone, ended up back in jail.
Back in Jizzle.
Yeah. Probation violation. This is from his Pitchfork Selector series that he was part of, where the good people at Pitchfork decided to put him in a gun range. Yeah,
and they got him put in jail.
It was a violation of his probation from last year. You know what? There's a site out there, DNAinfo.com/Chicago. Someone sent me this, that the story behind the incident where he was ended up pointing a gun at a police, they actually have the breakdown of what occurred there. I think it's the first time that's been published, what exactly happened during that incident that sort of gained him this notoriety for being, against the cops and surviving and all that stuff. But it's really wild because he was in a not a shootout, but he was running through an alleyway, raised his gun to the cops. The cops were firing at him while he's running through this gangway, and he survived. Like, he didn't get hit or shot. Like, that's wild. But this isn't his first felony. That felony, he was actually selling he got hit with a Class X felony for selling drugs. That means he must have been pushing something big.
Yeah, Class X? I didn't even heard of that.
No, me neither. You have to be pushing something huge.
It's either something big or something small.
I think he was doing it. I think he was pushing it in a school area. That's bad too.
Yeah, school zone.
Yep, that's.
Yeah, but you know what? Fuck that savage, man. Yeah. Yo, when you get the chance to leave, you fucking leave, man. Because I don't believe that you want to live that way. You know what I'm saying? Ask Lil Jojo how that shit's going. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, but these people, the life that they live in, it's not gonna last. You will die. His brother got murked, and his brother got murked. His stepbrother got murked last week. And he's not even in the gang.
Yeah.
College kid.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Not guns. That's the problem. Why people think that life is so transient. And the only difference is that now white people are feeling that shit, like urban people and poor people have been feeling that shit their whole lives. That they could turn a corner or be minding their fucking business and get bodied. Welcome to the fucking real world. Welcome to America.
Yeah, man.
You know, you live in Chicago. I grew up in Harlem during the 80s, the fucking crack era. You know what I'm saying? And that shit was way worse than it is now. And that's, you know, the fear is that random shit. That you could not be bothering anybody, that you could be minding your own business and still get murked. That's the fear. But people in the hood live with that fear every day. And it ain't no cause for gun control. There ain't no call, you know, for gun laws. There's no cause for any of that. But now that your kids are under attack, now that your kids are under risk, now all of a sudden there's some kind of fucking gun phenomenon. Like that shit just came out. Nah, man. Leave the Constitution alone, man. Do your studies. Stop pushing ignorance. You know, this is the wild shit. We just spent 10 years in a preemptive war. What is a preemptive war? I think you're gonna do something, so I'm gonna pop you. That's some real nigga shit. America just spent 10 years and trillions of dollars on some real nigga shit. And now we home and, you know, the kind of mythology that you've created about this being an outlaw country and all the things that you worship, now they coming home. Right. I feel for the families of those children, and it's a horrible incident, but it's not an uncommon incident. It's not. We have to find out why people think it's okay to end somebody. You got these kids running around with machine guns in the street. You know, people got, you know how many gun owners there is in America? You know how many guns get sold every year? So why is it that we're not living in a fucking bullet-riddled apocalypse? Why? Because it ain't the guns. A whole bunch of people own guns. The gun's not the problem. The mentality is the problem. And until we address that, you're going to keep having these things. You're going to keep having these incidents. You know? And all they do is scare people to act. And when they act, they lose a little bit more of their freedom under the fake assumption that it's going to make them safer, which it never will.
I agree. All right, well, before we get out of here, NFL playoffs going down, championship games going on this weekend. Your Patriots and God's favorite son.
The rematch.
God's favorite son, Ray Lewis, continues to keep winning and pushing forward. You know what? I kind of want to see a hardball bowl, the Ravens and 49ers.
Fuck both of those teams.
But I'll be okay with a Patriots, Falcons, or 49ers. I kind of want to see the Patriots get back in there.
Yeah, man. I need Tom Terrific to get number 5, man. To get number 4.
Yeah, man.
Well, number 4.
You know what? There's going to be a time, and I'm thinking about this.
Because he got to pass Joe Montana, B.
He's already passed him in career playoff wins last
Yeah,
weekend.
but now we got to pass him on the chip side, man.
Yeah. But there's going to be a time, and I'm going to, maybe 5 years, whenever Tom Brady decides to hang it up and Bill Belichick decides to go into the front office and do something not coaching, the Patriots are going to suck.
They're not, man, because it's a way of life there, man. It's like the Steelers, the Ravens, not the Cowboys because Jerry Jones, the Giants. A good franchise is a good franchise, man, and they're going to always be good because they're going to make the right decisions. Look at the Giants, right? A chip in 86, a chip in 91, a Super Bowl in 99, a chip in 2007, a chip in 2010. You know, it's a regularly occurring thing.
Yeah, we'll see, though. I mean, but, you know, every team goes through some dark periods. The Steelers weren't great after their Terry Bradshaw years. The Bears had the domination in the 80s, only though it resulted in one title. The 49ers even went through some down periods for a long time besides the last couple of years.
But they have front office turmoil. When you look at the 49ers, the people that were behind that left. When you look at the Cowboys, Jimmy Johnson left. So there wasn't front office stability. You know what I'm saying? As long as Bill Belichick and Bob Kraft is there, it's not going to suck. It's not. Now, when they leave, you know, then maybe. Look at the Lakers. As soon as Jim Buss took over,
man,
now we going through shit. But they looked real good last night, though.
Against the Bucks, dude. Come on, man.
They look. Hey, listen, man. The Bucks win too.
Don't they have the Heat tonight, or that tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night.
Oh, that's gonna be a good.
We'll see. Kobe shut down Kyrie Irving and what's this guy? He shut down Chris Paul in that loss the other night. I don't know, man. Maybe refocus on the defensive end. We'll see.
That's gonna be a good one. If they can get a W there, then all right. But I'm not buying any stock in the Lakers.
Yeah, I'm not buying it either. But it's nice to see them win. I hope if they can learn each other and play some defense, they can do some real damage as an AFC.
They'll get.
I don't think nobody wants to play them as an AFC.
Nah, they'll get into the playoffs. I'm not worried about that. You know, they're just too talented to not get into the playoffs. But we'll see how that goes.
Well, at this point, it's just a game of numbers, man.
Yeah. What is it? So, what's your picks for this weekend's games? I got the Patriots eking out.
Pats and Niners.
Pats and Niners. The Falcons are playing at home, right? So, last time they were in the NFC Championship game was the Dirty Birds beat Minnesota at home. I'm going to say that.
I don't know if I believe in that, Leo.
I don't know. I like Matt Ryan, and we'll see what happens with
Kaepernick is a monster.
We'll see, man. I thought it was funny. I was watching First Take this morning, and Jason Taylor, because he was sort of co-signing Bill Parcells' take on what to do with that option run play that's been taking over the NFL this year, and he co-signed Bill Parcells by saying just keep hitting the quarterback. Whether that's it or not, keep hitting the quarterback. I think that's what the Niners or the Falcons are eventually do. They're just gonna keep smacking him around until he.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. That guy's big like Cam Newton, man. That ain't Michael Vick scrambling. That's a big boy. I mean, tell you something. It's like Tebow. When people that big get out in the open field, them DBs don't want no parts of that. We talking 240, 250, 230-pound dudes, man. Them safeties and those cornerbacks don't want any parts of somebody coming at them that fast, that big.
Yeah, but they were saying that about Ben Roethlisberger. That he was, he's one of the first ones to come out that was a running quarterback, but not scrambling quarterback, but he could run and carry his own. But now look at him 5-6 years now. Now he was like super injury plagued this last year and the year before that. You can't keep doing that though, no matter how big you are.
Yeah, but Ben Roethlisberger takes a lot of hits. You see someone like Robert Griffin. Robert Griffin is not big enough to absorb those hits.
Right.
But these guys are freaks, man, and they throw the ball. They're not just running around the place. They throwing that shit long and down,
Yeah. Well, I got the Pats and Falcons Super Bowl. Pats 49ers. We'll see what happens next week. But if Ray Lewis gets in, I'm not going to be mad. So.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can root against him, but I'm rooting against him this week.
It'd be kind of cool for him to go out with time. I know that's not what you want to hear, but hey.
I don't have a problem with Ray Lewis. I just don't want to. No. I don't want to take that out.
Hey, you guys have won more. You guys won enough for everybody.
We won 3, and the last one was a long time ago, man. I don't want to hear that shit.
You guys are in it every year, championship.
We're supposed to be in it every year when you got Tom Brady.
Man.
And let's keep it funky, man. Tom Brady's throwing to people your size, man.
That's true, too.
Wes Welker's 5'8", man. Danny Woodhead's 5'7". These guys are not... He ain't throwing to fucking Reggie Wayne. He ain't throwing to nobody spectacular. The one year he had Randy Moss, they put up fucking Tecmo Bowl numbers. You do the math, dude. Tom Brady's the GOAT. I don't care what nobody say. They can have that Peyton Manning shit all they want, but when Tom Brady actually had a real receiver, he put up 50 touchdowns, man. 50. So
yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. All right, so that's going to be our show this week. What do you got going on over at the... I know you got plenty. You've been telling me you've been working on a lot.
Dude, man, we got interviews out the wazoo. We got concert footage. Saw a block party last night. Real dope black rock dude from London. Real dope. IO Echo opened up for him. A duo out of L.A. They got a little pop trance music going on. We got interviews with so many people from so many walks in music, man. We're ready for 2013. I hope you are.
Cool, man. This week on the Weekend Wrap-Up Mix Show, we're talking to a local artist, Embarks. He has a new mixtape album out, Meet the Press. It's really good, really good. And then we catch up with MC8, Compton's Most Wanted. He got the new EP out there, Keep It Good. Not produced by Premier. The scratches are by Premier, but the beats are just lovely. So it's really good stuff, so I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. So we'll have that up over the weekend. So that's what's going on my side. So, all right. So until we catch up with you guys again next week, have a great weekend. Championship Sunday is going down. Man. Yeah. All right. Well, my Bears aren't in there, but, hey, we hired a CFL coach, so we're almost halfway there.
Yeah, how's that working out?
I don't know. Too early. Hey, but his daughters are super hot, from what I understand.
That's always a win.
Chicago's winning. All right.
That's so you guys Peace out, Brussels sprouts.